I'm up at the Winton Wetlands this morning. This is my first post-retirement walk. It's one of those places that I've driven past, thousands of times over the years on the Hume Freeway. As I've been heading up and down to Sydney, first with the old man and the truck, and then on later adventures of my own. It used to be called Lake McCowan. It used to be a lake. I think they used it for irrigation and recreation. Now they've drained the lake. Now it's the Winton Wetlands. So I've never been in here. First impressions are there's a lot of infrastructure being built here. Looks like there's a fair bit of Indigenous history and art. So let's go for a walk and see what we can find, hey? So I've walked about 10 feet. I mentioned the Indigenous history, but there's also some old European settler history, obviously. That's an old boiler from one of the old homesteads that used to be out here. So I'm heading for that gate over there. And then I'm gonna, head out into the old lake, I guess. So, looks like I've reached the edge of the lake. I can see some water out there. I'm going to kind of follow along and then out onto a isthmus, if I said that right. It's, haven't mentioned it. I think this walk is going to come out around 8 Ks. We'll see how we go. It's one I've kind of knocked together. So I'm walking on the southern side, or the southern shoreline of the wetlands. If you can see the water out there. There's a few ways to do this. There's a little grassy track that's up the other side, maybe 50 metres further south in the trees. I've kind of dropped down onto the shore of the lake and following a more kind of informal kind of track. As long as I keep the lake on my left, or the wetlands on my left, not going to be a real issue getting lost along here. I'm actually going to pick up, I think they call it the Lunette Walk. So I dare say the track will get a little bit more pronounced and obvious when I get down there. So I don't know if you can see the roos hopping along the foreshore over there. There appears to be a phenomenal amount of wildlife here, especially roos. There's a whole heap of eastern greys up there. They kind of sit in the sun. I don't know if it'll come up. I'm heading towards them. That mountain range in the background is the Warby Range. So I'm gathering I'm on the edge of the old Lake McCowan here because this massive red gum obviously wasn't underwater for 30 years. Or 40 years, or however long Lake McCowan was there. So I just saw a huge snake, but I couldn't get the camera fired up in time to get a photo. But yeah, must be a few around obviously. And even though it's, when I started walking left the ute it was 4 degrees. Fuck, there's another one. Jeez, look at the size of them. So that's what trekking pole. That's longer than my trekking pole. That's 1.5 metre. Okay. So even though it was cold this morning, I better be careful, I think, because there's some decent sized snakes around. Alright. So I was talking about snakes. Have a look at this bloke. Fuck me. He's fat. Must be prime country for snakes around here. I haven't got my trekking poles in my hand, so I'm a bit reluctant to get too close to him. I might grab a trekking pole. I can get a little bit closer. Have a look at that. He knows I'm there, he's just keeping an eye on me. In case you're wondering, he's a red belly black, I think. You can just see under his head there, a nice red belly on him. I know he's been eaten. There's been a lot of it. Alright, walk another 100 metres or so. Here's another one. I think it's because it's been such a cold night. Oh, there he is. Too busy watching the steak and not the camera. I think it's been such a cold night. They're out warming up in the morning sun. I have to be fucking careful though, because I've only got a control runner set up today, so I'm thinking this isn't going to work too well against snake bite. Anyway, all good. Let's have another look at him. Around here with the sun behind me. Or her. So this is starting to get a bit freaky now. While I was watching that one, it started to go slide away. I was going to take a photo. And look what it was sliding away in the direction it's gone now. It's under that log there. Look what I noticed in the background. Fuck. And this one's bigger still. There he goes. Oh, there's two. There's two here. Excuse my shadow. I want to keep an eye on these guys. Okay, I've met my outward track or return track. So I'll be heading back on that track on the other side of the fence line there. Looks like this. I don't know if you can see that. Two containers stacked up with a mural over there. Strange spot, but so from here on, a track, like a normal, more of a typical type track. So it should make my snake friends easy to spot, hopefully. Looks like I might be able to get out onto that little hill out there. I'm not too sure. There's water. I'm not going to go through mud. So if I can get out there, I'll get out there. That's a turnaround point. If not, I'll get to where the water's over the track down there, the lake. Well, wetlands are actually pretty high. We've had a lot of rain. So from back here it looks like it might be doable. We'll see how we go. It's duck shooting season. Looks like you're possibly allowed to shoot here. Good news is, got across those muddy sections on a bit of a kind of path there. Keep my feet fairly clean. And I'm going to head up to the little mountain there, and that's my turnaround point. And I'm going to head back to the ute for some brekkie. Well, I don't know if you can hear me, but with the wind chill, I reckon it feels about -2. It's fucking freezing. As you would expect for a wetlands, I suppose there's a lot of bird life around. So this pile of stone and rock is an indigenous depiction of a long-necked turtle. I think it may be best seen with a drone though. I don't think I've done much photos with the phone. Okay, so I'm walking back along I think this is an open road, or an open track. I walked on the way in, I followed that tree line, that's where all the red-bellied black snakes were. To make it into a loop, I'm following this road. If it is an open road, it doesn't get a lot of traffic because there's not much in the way of tyre marks on the ground. Yeah, it's been a nice walk so far. Gee, it's cold though. The wind off the lake is freezing. And the good thing about this track is it's a lot easier to spot the snakes. Not that I've seen any yet. Okay, so just emerged on the main access road. I think in this tree line over here there's a bike path that runs back to where I'm parked. Oh, a few hundred metres down there. There's a duck over. Check out this path if there is one. See a couple of signs. So I'm thinking there is. Alright, next time you see me I'll probably be checking out, I reckon. Okay, I'm just back at the ute now. That walk came in at about 9.5 k's. It's freezing up here today. The wind's howling. But yeah, apart from that, fairly pleasant little stroll. It follows a walk called the Spit Walk out, and then I did the Lunette Walk, and then came back along the access roads and this bike path I'm walking. There's obviously been a lot of money spent up here. There's a lot of infrastructure, toilets, tanks, picnic tables, signage on most of the walks, although there was bugger all on that Spit Walk. So yeah, if you're motoring on up or down the Hume and you want to stretch your legs a bit, it's not a bad spot. That if you just do that Lunette Walk in isolation, it's only 3 k's or something. A lot of wildlife and a lot of bloody snakes. Yeah, I must have seen, I don't know, 6 snakes in a few hundred metres. So that was a bit freaky. Anyway, all good.